So you want to protect yourself with a charm bag, but you don't want anyone to know about it? You've come to the right place. A charm bag is a small cloth bag filled with magical ingredients and charged with a specific intention. They have a long history of use throughout Africa and Europe. They're popular with modern practitioners because of their simplicity, portability, and effectiveness. Today, I'm going to show you how to make one while staying securely within the broom closet. Because today, we're making protection spells using stuffies. You can use any stuffie that has a furry texture, seams, and stuffing inside. Those very squishy stuffies that have smooth skin and super soft stuffing are not the best choice because the charm bag will feel lumpy inside and it's hard to sew that smooth skin-like fabric to make it look good. You also don't want to use a stuffie that's very special to you because we will be opening a seam to put the charm bag in and sewing it back together by hand, and it's probably not going to be perfect afterward. If you want to be able to carry your protection spell with you, you can use a stuffie that's a keychain, like this one. For this spell, you'll need your stuffie, a piece of light-colored fabric, about 6 inches by 6 inches. It does not have to be perfect. Some light-colored string or thread, which you will use to tie your bag, a small spoon. This one is a 1/4 teaspoon, but it doesn't matter what size, just something to scoop your herbs with. And basic sewing supplies, a needle, a seam ripper or a pair of sharp scissors with a point, and thread to match your stuffie. For our spell ingredients, we will be using some common kitchen herbs and salt. Basil will protect you and your home from the negativity of others. Rosemary will shield you and your home from unwanted spirits and will help you set boundaries. We're using powdered rosemary because whole rosemary, which is basically pine needles, would be too detectable in a stuffie. And salt. Salt is one of the best and most accessible substances to protect against negative energy and psychic attacks. Obviously, don't use anything that you or anyone around you is allergic to, and be mindful of the fragrances of these herbs, particularly if anyone else shares your stuffie. If that's a concern, or if you don't have access to the herbs, simply using salt is the best way to go. It's accessible, effective, and fragrance-free. To make your charm bag, start with a piece of fabric. You want it to be light in color so that it can't be seen inside the stuffie, and somewhere around 6 inches by 6 inches, just to make it easy to handle, but it doesn't have to be perfect. The first thing we want to do is clear this fabric of any old energy. So take a few deep breaths to ground yourself. Now visualize a protective bubble around you, repelling any negative energy. Now hold in your mind the intent to cleanse the fabric of any old energy. We're going to hold the fabric in our hands with the intention of cleansing it, and we are going to blow on it sharply 3 times. As we do, we're going to visualize the old energy leaving the fabric. It is now ready to become a protection charm bag. You are going to place some of each ingredient in the middle of your fabric. A half teaspoonful or so is plenty. As you do this, you will respectfully ask for the herb's protection and thank it before moving on to the next. Basil, please protect me, my home, and all of its inhabitants from the negativity of others. Thank you, Basil. Rosemary, please shield me, my home, and all of its inhabitants from unwanted spirits, and please strengthen my boundaries. Thank you, Rosemary. Salt, please protect me, my home, and all of its inhabitants from negative energy and psychic attacks. Thank you, Salt. Now we will mix the ingredients gently together. Get our string and cut a piece, about 12 inches long. If you are using thread to tie your bag, you want at least a double or triple strand to make it strong enough. So cut a longer piece and then double or triple it. Now we are going to carefully gather the edges of the fabric together all the way around. Keeping the spell ingredients inside and forming a tiny pouch like this. Using the string to tie it. First, wrap it tightly a few times. And now, you're going to tie 3 knots. As we tie each knot tightly, we're going to repeat aloud or in your mind the intention for this spell. As we tie the first knot, only positive and loving energy reaches me and my home. All negative energy is sent back from whence it came. As we tie the second knot, we will repeat it. Only positive and loving energy reaches me and my home. All negative energy is sent back from whence it came. And a third knot. Only positive and loving energy reaches me and my home. All negative energy is sent back from whence it came. Now we are going to use the scissors trim off the excess string and the excess fabric at the top. You want to cut the fabric just above the knot to make it as small as possible while still keeping the knot secure. And now we are going to charge the charm bag. Take a few deep breaths to clear your mind. And then focus on your intention for this bag. Protection from negative energy of all types. Rub your hands together until you feel warmth. You might feel a ball of energy or a feeling as if two magnets are repelling each other. But even if you don't feel anything, the energy is still flowing, whether you feel it or not. Cup your hands around the charm bag as you repeat the intention aloud or in your head. Only positive and loving energy reaches me and my home. All negative energy is sent back from whence it came. As you repeat the intention, visualize this energy flowing down your arms, through your hands, and into the bag. Only positive and loving energy reaches me and my home. All negative energy is sent back from whence it came. After a few minutes, when you feel the energy start to wane, close your hands to stop the flow of energy. Your charm bag is now charged. If you're not in the broom closet, you can tuck it into your pillow or your purse. But for broom closet witches, we are going to conceal it from prying eyes. Now we are going to take the stuffie that you've chosen, and we're going to find a seam on the bottom or in the back. This one has a seam right here, which is where I'm going to open it up. You're going to take your sharp scissors or a seam ripper and very gently cut one of the threads that forms the seam. This one just opened up right away. See that? If you need to, you can snip another thread on yours if necessary. Inside, I am just going to tuck my little spell bag right in there. You want to push it toward the middle if you can, and use your finger to close the hole with the stuffing around it. If your stuffie is very firmly packed, you might need to take out just a little bit of the stuffing to make room. And it's as simple as that. Once the charm bag is inside, we'll then sew up this hole. We're going to use a double thread So cut off a piece that's probably about 3 times as long as you think you need. I'll show you how to double the thread and put the loop end through the needle. This is the thread I'll be using. I don't have yellow, so I'm just using white. And I'm going to pull off a piece of thread, probably about 1.5 feet long. Cut it. And to make this extra strong, we're going to double our thread. So you want to line up the ends. Two ends of the piece that you cut, just like that. Stretch it out. And on the loop end, this loop end is the part we're going to put through the needle. I can do it in the dark. There we go. You're going to slide it so that the loop end is longer than the two tails. See that? Now starting below where the seam is open, make our first stitch. Instead of making a knot, put the needle through the loop, which will make a slip knot. And you're going to make a straight stitch on the right side, tucking the ends of the fabric under, and then a stitch next to it on the left side. We're going to go back and forth, sewing on the left side and then the right side. All the way up to the top of the seam that you opened. As I sew this, I'd just like to note that a charm bag will protect you from negative energy, but not from all types of harm. A protection spell can deflect negative energy, but when it comes to actual physical danger, there is no substitute for strong intuition and a can of bear spray. Having a protection spell should not give you a false sense of security. Now when you reach the top of the seam that you opened, sew for a few more stitches just to keep everything secure. And then we're going to wrap the thread around the needle, pull it to make a knot. One more time. And then take the needle, put it into the stuffie, away from the area where you put your spell bag, and back out again. Pull it through, and then cut the string off. The thread will then be buried inside. You won't have a thread hanging out. Cut off this little piece of thread left over from where I cut the seam, and it's complete. If you used a Stuffie keychain, it's ready to be attached to your bag. A larger Stuffie can watch over you on your bed while you sleep. After a week or so, the energy that you charged your charm bag with will start to wane. You can maintain the spell by grounding and protecting yourself and then charging it again, just as we did the first time. Hold the Stuffie in your hands and visualize the energy of your intention flowing into the bag within the Stuffie. It's not a problem that the charm bag is within the Stuffie because this is energetic work and it's not affected by a physical barrier like fabric or stuffing. Thank you for joining me for this broom closet witchcraft tutorial. Subscribe for more tutorials and for witchy ASMR videos. Have a magical night.